This is Mrs. Cox, and I'd just like to explain a couple of things that you might be a little bit confused about my classroom. First of all, I wanted to let you know that we are using Discovery Education as our online resource. So your students will not be coming home with a textbook most likely this year. If your child does not have access to the internet, I should know that by now because I gave them a survey in class to find this out. But if you end up having difficulties with the internet at your house, please feel free to let me know. My class is a Flipped Mastery classroom. Hopefully you had a chance to watch the video that I made explaining Flipped Mastery to you. And if not, hopefully you can do that after you watch this. With Flipped Mastery, the students progress through the curriculum at their own pace, and they have to achieve an 80% or better in order to move on to the next topic. Instead of lecturing in front of the class or having whole class learning activities, I make videos to teach the concepts so that students can watch them as they need to and can rewatch them as needed. I do have some days, maybe once every week or two, that I call class checkup days, where we come together as an entire class and I do a review of the topics they've been learning and see how I can help to answer questions. Why do I do this? The main reason I do this is because students don't learn at the same rate, and it gives me time to walk around and help students with any topics that they're having difficulty with. And it also teaches them to be self-directed learners. You may find that your student is a little frustrated with this type of learning at the beginning, but just keep letting them know that they can do this and that they have the ability to direct their own learning. I'm sure that they will end up doing great with this. What you will see is that the students will have a suggested due date calendar, which gives them the idea of when I would suggest that they take certain tests or quizzes, and allows them to gauge whether they're on track or not on track time-wise. These calendars are linked on my website, and they should have them taped into their science notebook. They also will get what I call checklists, and these checklists tell them what learning activities they need to do. So if you'll look on the left-hand side here with my cursor, these are the assignments, like the names of the assignments. Going across, this is what they're going to produce or do. Going across again, this is where they're going to find them. And going across again, what they're going to do after they're finished. So you can see that with this particular checklist, they had a worksheet and then a couple of videos that I made and then a couple of hands-on activities. When they're done with the checklist, they then take a formative quiz, and they have to achieve a 3 or a 4 on the quiz in order to move on. Those quizzes do not count toward their grade, but they do help me to know what topics they need more help on. And they do have to go back and relearn material that they might not have gotten the first time. Their grades in my class, if your child is in regular science class, their grades will be 75% based on the topic assessments, which are the same as chapter tests, and those can be retaken. In fact, they need to be retaken if the child gets less than an 80% on them. And 25% of their grade will be based on unit tests. The unit tests cannot be retaken because the students have already taken topic tests over the same topics. I will give study guides for all tests. In Challenge Science, you can see that the breakdown for the grades is different because it takes into account the challenge trimester projects that the students will be doing. I have parents that ask me, how will I know if my child is staying caught up in science? First of all, you can check my website, and on the website will be the calendar and the checklist. In case they haven't come home with their science notebook in a while, you can ask them where they are on them. Also, as students complete quizzes, I will record those quizzes in Infinite Campus so that you can see that they've completed those. Also, of course, tests will be recorded as soon as I have them scored. So on my website, the links to videos will be on the left, and the links to worksheets will be on the right. I try to upload anything that they might need at home, with the exception of lab information, because they would need to do those at school, so that they can still do them at home even if they forgot to bring the worksheets home. You could print them off at home. Please check your child's science notebook. All of their assignments except for assessments will be in their notebook, and you can compare those to the suggested timeline. Most students will need to do homework, about 20 minutes of homework 2 nights a week. If you find that your child is spending a tremendous amount of time on science homework, then please let me know right away, because they shouldn't be. Perhaps they're not using their time well in school, or perhaps I need to make some changes to their assignment. We are now integrating challenge science into the regular science class, and students are contracting for a challenge grade. That means they are agreeing to participate in challenge science and agreeing to hold the challenge science expectations. If that is not the case, then they will be transferred back into the regular science roster. Please contact me with any questions or issues that come up right away, and we can, I'm sure, work together to solve those. Thanks for listening. Bye.